Welcome, Nintendo Nation, to the Nintendo Pipeline Podcast. I'm your host, Jared, aka One Up Muffin. With me today are my two fantastic co-hosts. First, we have the man with the plan, Clay. Say hello.
Hello.
And on the other side, we have the duder with the computer, Barry.
Hey everybody.
Awesome. On today's podcast, we'll be discussing our favorite mustache man, Super Mario. So, Mario was recently in the news due to his alleged death, but we just want to clear it up once and for all that Mario is not actually dead. Do not worry. But we thought this was a great opportunity to discuss how important the Mushroom Kingdom champion is to us. um, to start this off, you'll cut that out that laugh, right? Yeah, cool.
Sure, man, I will.
Sure, everything's fine.
Okay, awesome. To start this off, I just wanted to ask you guys, what was your first experience with Super Mario? Let's start with Clay.
Yeah, so I'm one of those boring ones who started with Mario 1 and Slash Duck Hunt. I kind of consider them like as a whole together. Was my first game ever actually, and yeah, I was pretty young. I like possibly like smacking buttons and having no success at like 3 years old or something.
So was it like an older siblings console or?
It was actually my parents.
Oh, wow.
They had it, and I was, for whatever reason, naturally fascinated by it. And then, that started a very expensive love affair that's lasted quite a long time now. But that one is definitely, I spent the most time with it as a kid. Was my first one. We had the other ones on NES as well, but that was definitely the one that got most of my attention from the youngest age.
Do you still go back to the original Super Mario Brothers?
Oh hell yeah, I love that game. It's we'll probably get into this later, but it's up there for one of my favorites in general.
Yeah, and I guess we should also add that the reason people thought Mario was going to die was because they ended support for Mario 35 last week, which is based off the first Super Mario Brothers. We'll discuss that a little bit later, but Barry, what is your first Super Mario?
My first exposure to Super Mario was Super Mario Pinball Land for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh my god.
Yeah, true story. And it was my sister's, my older sister's Game Boy Advance. And on car trips, I would be in the very back of the minivan begging for a game to play on her Game Boy Advance. She had a couple. I don't remember any of them being particularly good. And least good was Super Mario Pinball Land. And that was my first exposure to Mario that I can recall besides...
Wow. I'm amazed you actually like Mario now.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, more so than I imagine most people in the community, I got into Nintendo pretty late in life. Because my first like real Mario game was New Super Mario Brothers Wii, actually, and that was like my first Mario platformer, really.
Mm-hmm. That's a good place to start, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was, and I feel that I was at least aware of the world and characters prior to that, but having my unique introduction to games into Nintendo, I can't really pinpoint where my knowledge of different series started.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a cultural osmosis, maybe.
Yeah, because because I'm 21, and for me growing up, Mario was already such a big cultural thing.
So you wouldn't have seen like the Mario Super Show, but you probably know who Mario and Luigi and Peach are.
Yeah, it was interesting. So my first Mario game would have been Mario Land, but my actual first Mario game was Wii.
Mario Pinball Land, because I actually want to discuss the other Mario Land.
Oh.
My
yes.
first. So I had like seen Mario Bros. Like at my cousin's house, like when I was like really little, but I don't remember that at all. The first memory I actually have of playing a Mario was Super Mario Land on my Game Boy Pocket, which I still have, still works. But I loved how weird that one was. The music was great. It's only like a half an hour long, but that's a damn good half hour. I certainly
Yeah,
played that
I
every once in
like
a
that
while.
as well. Nice and short.
Yeah, Game Boy games were sometimes like laughably short, like Dreamland being like 30 minutes also, but
Yep.
they're easy to go back to and they're still very fun today. Um, I guess let's take a break from old Mario memories, and I want to. Do you guys want to discuss Mario 35 for like a few minutes?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, did you guys play Mario 35?
Absolutely. A lot. A ton.
I
I'm still in
played.
mourning.
I played a little bit. I didn't play a ton like Clay, but I played some Mario 35. Yeah.
And were you guys pretty into it?
No.
No. Oh no.
I was quite into it. I mean, I don't think it was as good as say like Tetris 99, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and I'm still sad that it's gone.
Yeah, it,
So,
it was so clever that it's sad when clever things get their servers removed.
well,
Um,
especially arbitrarily
mhm,
removed,
yeah,
with the international Murder Mario Day of March
Yeah.
31st.
yeah.
You
I
know,
feel like it'll come back eventually in like a Mario Maker 3 or in some other capacity,
I just
but it
I
is
have
sad that
to
it's over.
I have to think that like maybe they're working on something that's kind of like similar to it, or is like a more full version of it, or something for it to make sense as to why it's gone.
Mhm.
imagine if March 1st, or no, imagine if April 1st, Mario 36 had come out.
That would have been
Man,
great.
I would have laughed really hard.
Yeah, I think like a bigger number of players would have been nice, and just like make it more of a platform where there's other Mario games, where there's more levels. Like, why not add the lost levels to it? Why not add Mario 2? Make it wild and crazy.
I thought it was weird that they didn't include like the hard mode levels, like when you finish the game and like it basically just turns Goombas into Buzzy Beetles.
Oh yeah,
Like I was like, oh, that didn't really
I
happen, did
forgot that
it?
was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that could have been like a if you've won a single Mario 35 match, then you can go into like the higher tier room like Tetris 99, and that room only uses
Oh, that would have been
the
cool.
the hard versions or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was really neat. Though I had some problems with how long matches would go on sometimes. Like if you were just
Yeah,
having a stalemate with another really good player.
it definitely needs a bit of rebalancing. Like some parts work well, but yeah, ultimately when you're like down to the wire, it's not like aggressive enough to like end the match. So like everyone's able to hang on for so long. And I feel like even if you just made time, I know it was like what, like times 4 or something when it got like
Hmm.
really down to it.
Yeah,
But it takes too long to get to that point. So I feel
it
like
really
maybe
does.
if that just started earlier, that would probably alleviate a good amount.
Hmm. And maybe another way to directly attack people, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's like a one-on-one, things just kind of change a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like you can attack their
that's
time
fair.
directly.
Yeah,
Like beating
it's
a level, if
yeah.
you're like if you're in a one-on-one, maybe it like goes to like a sudden death mode where it starts everyone at, like the beginning of a level and just sees who can finish it the fastest.
Oh, a sudden death thing would be really fun actually if
Just
they
like a
had
speed
that
run,
kind of
just puts on a random level and says whoever finishes this first wins.
yeah, or like
Yeah, that's
yeah, I don't
cool.
know, you can do a lot with that kind of format.
Mhm. And balance it out a little bit with who has the most like time left. Like give someone an extra second.
Yeah, I mean generally the best strategy was like you want to stock up on coins as much as possible in early
Mhm.
games so that you can burn them on the roulette
Yeah.
when it comes time to, suffer in like a pack of Lakitu,
Yeah.
Lakitu party. Um, and then like, yeah, like earning time does become an issue in very late game. So that's also interesting, but I don't know. Yeah, it needs some tweaking, I think.
Tweaking that will never come because it is over.
Yeah, sad.
Barry, do you want to add any last thoughts to Mario 35?
Yeah, I thought it was neat. I didn't play it too much, but
You're
I
not a big multiplayer guy, right? Or is that not true?
um it depends. in my case, I'm at a university dorm and I have internet that doesn't always work with Nintendo games in particular. Uh,
And do you like battle royale games? Do you have a
Tetris.
victory royale or chicken dinner to speak of?
No, I've gotten close in Tetris 99. I think I got to like at least the top 10, but
Nice.
I don't think I've ever won at anything.
I could win at the beginning, but I can't win now.
Yeah.
It's gotten
I
so
got
hard.
close. I got to like second a few times, and then I always die. I always fail out at the end.
It's get stressful. All right, back to Super Mario. I'm sorry, brief tangent, but I wanted to go into an important question. What is your favorite Mario memory? Let's start with Barry this time.
My favorite Mario memory.
And you can pass it to.
No,
Sam if
I've
you
got
want.
it. I've got it. I think it would be when Mario Kart 8. I mean, the entirety of Mario Kart 8. Does that count? It's not quite Mario, but it has Mario in the title. So
It counts.
I'll count it. Yeah.
I'd say it counts.
We're talking about Mario as
I-
a character, not just the platformers.
yeah. When I was in middle school, Mario Kart 8 had like a year leading up to it. Because it was announced at E3 2013, I think.
That
Yeah,
sounds
and
right.
it came out in May of like really late May of 2014. So there was pretty much a year of hype for it. I remember, I think it was like a January direct that I was after school. I think I would have been in like a band rehearsal, and I was watching a Nintendo Direct instead. Or like,
I've done similar, watching
Yeah.
like the Wii U directs in like the middle of high school.
yeah.
Like lunch.
Lunch class,
Oh,
my favorite.
yeah. And then when I got it, I think I played through all of the Nitro tracks the night it came out.
What are the Nitro tracks?
Like the new ones. They call them the Nitro and the Retro
Oh,
tracks. Yeah.
I never heard that term. That's cool.
I think they do. I can't imagine I made that up.
I know at least in one of them it was like there was like Nitro Cup or I don't remember. I it sounds vaguely
I believe
familiar. Yeah, we'll go with it.
I really like that game too. I bought that again for the Nintendo Switch, even though I told myself I wouldn't, and then I was
Yeah.
very happy I did.
Battle mode.
Battle mode's fantastic, underrated. And to you, Clay.
It's kind of tough for me because I have a lot of different Mario memories. I waited outside at freaking GameStop in cold temperatures for Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart DS was awesome. I
Was that a
remember
midnight release?
we had one
A midnight
in
release
ours.
for Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, it was great. I was so happy that we had that. But one of the ones that I remember the strongest was our GameStop had a demo up for Mario Galaxy a few weeks before it came out. I didn't want to play too much of it, obviously, because it was coming close, but I played it for, probably longer than I should have. And it was kind of a magical experience because I'm someone who traditionally, I mean, I play them and they're fine, but I'm not super wild into 3D Mario stuff usually. I definitely prefer 2D stuff. So Galaxy to me was the first 3D Mario that kind of attempted to have some of those elements that I liked. So, like even just like there being normal question mark blocks or like like power-ups or whatever was something. But yeah, I played that demo for a while and it was kind of one of those magical things because that game is very good at it's pretty whimsical and inviting, and I think now what I would say stands out the most about it is honestly the spectacle. I think it suffers a bit in replay, but like when I played that demo for the first time, it was very magical. It felt great. And yeah, and then I was very excited and dove into it a few weeks later, and that was the first 3D Mario that I 120 starred.
Wow, that is really cool. You got to play one of the best 3D Marios before it came out.
Demos are always fun. I going back to Mario Kart 8, there was the GameStop demo, and in my tiny town, one of our GameStops had the demo kiosk for Mario Kart 8, and I played it. Always fun. They're kind of gone now. I don't think pre-release demos really happen, unless they're
It
downloadable.
depends.
It's
Yeah.
rare. I mean, I haven't been to a
Yeah, I wouldn't touch
one
a
of those
kiosk
stores in a
now.
while.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we had because for Wii U time they had a dedicated Wii U kiosk that would get updated periodically with new demos and videos and stuff. And I seem to remember trying the Mario Kart 8 demo on that as well. But yeah, pre-release demos don't happen that much anymore in person. Usually they're
Uh,
like released like at the time the game comes out or something.
it's usually not worth doing.
Yeah.
Or it would be cool if we saw more demos with streaming.
Yeah, that could be an interesting compromise and something that I would not be opposed to for a demo.
Back to my Mario memory. Mine is renting Mario 64 from Blockbuster. I didn't own Mario 64 as a kid, but I rented it multiple times, and each time I just absolutely adored it. It felt so different from all like the Game Boy games I'd played before because I went from Game Boy to Nintendo 64. So just exploring the Mario's or Peach's castle in 3D and the castle grounds and jumping in the paintings was just something really special, and it just like gives me the warm and fuzzies to this day.
Yeah, actually, Game Boy to N64 is a very interesting transition. Like, that's magnitudes.
Yeah, it's definitely much different. I had the Game Boy Pocket, then with Game Boy Color, and then me and my sister shared a Nintendo 64, and we had like the Mario parties, Mario Kart, and then I rented Mario 64.
Did you get it on Christmas Day and scream like Nintendo 64 kid?
No, I don't remember when we got it. I
It's
definitely
kind of
don't have that day or any unwrapping in my memory.
it's kind of a blur for me too. And similarly to you, I actually also played. Well, I didn't rent Mario 64 from a Blockbuster, but I played Mario 64 on a Blockbuster demo kiosk. And I hated it. I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to my brain. I've warmed up a little bit on it over the years, but I just think it's kind of funny because I hear a lot of people who are like, "Yeah, I rented it from Blockbuster, or I tried it there, or I had it as a kid and it like blew my mind." And for me, I was like, "This isn't Super Mario Bros. What's going on?"
I had a few other questions I want to get to real fast. Um, we can spend a little bit of time with this one, and then I have a last one that I wanted to ask you guys. What is your favorite Mario spin-off? We kind of talked about Mario Kart, but as we know, there's many others. Clay, do you want to start for this one?
Yeah. So like this one was actually pretty tough for me to answer. So like yeah, Mario Kart, and I always loved Mario Tennis. And like you know, some weird people will say that like Mario Maker or whatever is a spin-off. I disagree. But when I was thinking about it, the one that I think stands out the most for me is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Fantastic
Because
game.
yeah, because I'm not someone who typically likes RPGs at all. And that game's like battle system and everything hooked me. Um, the writing was fun, music was fun. I just remember thoroughly enjoying that, and that's like the first memory I have of an RPG that I actually legitimately really liked. Um, and then I think I want to say I got to like the very final boss, like the second form of the final boss, and gave up. So that was that. But had
I'm
so much character in life. That's what really kind of raises it up for me.
Oh, it's so funny. It's the humor still holds up to this day. I actually had. I'm gonna go real quick because mine is pretty similar. I also had a Mario RPG, Paper Mario. I played Paper Mario actually pretty late, probably in college. but the humor, the action-based RPG gameplay, the worlds, everything was just so wonderful and charming that it really was a joy to play from start to end, and made a big impression on me, even though I didn't play it when it came out.
I think I just had the strategy guide for Paper Mario, and I remember thinking, "Oh, that's really cool," and then like I never played it till much later.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'd seen, I think, my sister play it when I was little, but I didn't play it myself until much later. So I had like some like back of mind memories of, I think, especially the Shy Guy world where you're like a toy factory or something.
Yeah, I remember that one kind of stands out in my mind from when I looked at the
Mm-hmm.
strategy guide.
Yeah, my favorite world is the Penguin Murder Mystery one. That one
Excuse me?
is very funny, and they did a very similar Penguin Mystery in Thousand Year Door, which is
I haven't
also a highlight of that game.
I haven't gotten that far in either of those, so Penguin Murder Mystery does not ring any bells. That sounds
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's great. All right, Barry, are you gonna stick with Mario Kart, or is there another Mario spin-off you want to highlight?
I think in general, I'm pretty cold on Mario spin-offs.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'd like, um, in general, I feel that most Mario spin-offs would be better suited as their own thing,
Mhm.
to an extent. Uh, so like I've got to go with Mario Kart.
Mhm.
It's the really the
Fantastic.
one I like. Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of memories from. My first Mario Kart was Mario Kart 7.
Wow.
Yeah, but
If
Damn.
if you guys couldn't tell, myself and Clay are at least a fair bit older than
yeah,
than Barry. If that, because my first Mario Kart was 64.
yeah.
And
Well,
yeah, mine was Super Mario Kart, so
whoa. I uh,
Oldsters.
I like Super Mario Kart a lot, actually.
Yeah,
yeah, same.
it holds up pretty well for a racer from that time.
You know, it very well might have been my first Mario Kart through the Smash Brawl masterpieces.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
probably,
right.
Masterpiece mode was so cool. That was a great thing. It should have been the full
yeah,
versions, but it was still very neat to introduce those games to people who might have never seen them before.
yeah. For me, as a young kid playing Brawl, that's really what got me into Nintendo. Because
Yeah,
that
that makes
that
a lot of
game is
sense.
built like a museum to Nintendo. Like Smash Ultimate is incredible for its roster and everything, but there's not educational value to small children in the way
Mhm.
that Brawl has.
Yeah,
Um,
trophies and museum stuff is just so
yeah,
useful.
yeah,
Yeah, even like the release calendar thing. What was it called? I don't remember.
The blog?
yeah. No, no, no. There
No.
was a
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
timeline.
There's a
Yeah, the
full calendar of
timelines.
release. Yeah, that is
Mm-hmm.
really cool.
Yeah.
There's a similar thing to that in some of the Namco museums, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's my
I like when
first
compilations do that.
and pretty much only exposure to Ocarina of Time. It was
Great
like
game.
this mysterious game for my sister and I. Like,
Really?
oh wow, it's muddy and dark and like spooky. Because the masterpiece starts you like in the middle of the game.
Mhm.
I think you're an adult by that point. Like it's the
Wow.
post time skip.
So
Ocarina of
you've not
Time
played the
spoilers, I
3DS
guess.
version?
No, I haven't played
Give it a
Ocarina of
go.
Time.
Give it a go.
I don't have a 3DS anymore.
What?
Yeah, my
Insane.
old one broke, and I think my sister still has hers, but it was originally ours.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but my XL has the hinge split in half.
Oh
Oof.
no.
Yeah, classic 3DS XL problems.
Uh,
And like, I don't really care to play on non-Switch platforms these days. Like, I would if I were at home probably, but being a college student, it's just different, you know. Like the Switch is a perfect college system. I
oh,
really
it
wish
really
that
was. Yeah. I,
COVID hitting is just like terrible for that.
Yeah.
I haven't gone
Switch
anywhere.
came out my last year of college, and I played 80 hours of Breath of the Wild on a handheld because I didn't have like a TV in there really to use all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It came out my second to last year of high school, like my third year of high school, and it was cool playing at the lunch table. There was a time where this dude played Breath of the Wild in chemistry class, like every day, and the teacher was furious at him.
God. Second to last question. Favorite Mario game ever? This can be a spin-off. This can be a 2D game. This can be a 3D game. Who's the top dog Mario for you? Barry.
Put me on the spot, because like when I hear that question, I mean the logical answer that this entire episode has been building to is Mario Kart 8. But that question gives me such a knee-jerk reaction of Odyssey, you know. 'Cause that game
It's a fantastic game.
really I beat Mario Odyssey in a weekend. That would probably be just as good as a favorite Mario memory, because I never do that. I am notoriously slow at playing and finishing games. I played Super Metroid in a year. You know, like I haven't finished so many things. Even games that I love, you know. I never finished Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
Like I just don't finish games. But Odyssey, in part because it's really easy and I'm quite bad, and also because of its structure, it was just so compelling that I finished it in like 2 days. It's not a particularly long game either, but it was sort of a marathon to do it like that. It was fun. I never do that. So to that question, I would say Odyssey. Yeah.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I can definitely play like it's weird. I can play sandbox Mario's for like longer stretches of times. Like I could easily play like Mario Odyssey for like 3 hours straight. But a game like 3D World, even though I like it a lot, I'll probably just play like a few levels and then stop.
Yeah, I can't play 3D World for more than like 3 levels. Just exhausted. 3D World fatigue is real.
Clay, what is your favorite Super Mario?
Oh boy. This one's tough for me. The answer is absolutely not Mario World.
Same, yeah.
But no, it comes to Mario 3 or Mario 1 for me. Mario 1, I just love how it feels, and it just has this like great speed to it. You can play it in so many different ways. All of the different like secrets and stuff. Like I'll still play that game occasionally and find something that I didn't realize was there, or like a one up's not supposed to come out of that, or whatever. Um, Mario 3 though, even though I liked the feel of Mario 1 a little bit more, just what Mario 3 does for Mario and like that universe, and like the Koopa kids and all the different world types, and um, you know they add the whistles in, and Tanuki and Raccoon and all that. Like it's
Hey.
it's a content overload, and it is like that's another game where I will play it and I will still find stuff that I didn't notice before, or at least I forgot I noticed before. Stuff like the coin ship and like all that weird stuff that would happen on the map and everything. I played a lot of both of those games as a kid. I played a lot of Mario 2 as well, and I liked that quite a lot too. But I guess yeah, it's kind of equal for me, honestly. It's really tough, but those are both excellent. So yeah, I'm gonna be the jerk here and say Mario 3 and 1.
I'm gonna be definitive, and I'm gonna say my favorite is Mario 3. I go back to that game maybe more than any other game, except like it's probably on par with like WarioWare Twisted and Tetris for games I just go back to all the goddamn time.
Oh
Mario
yes.
3 is almost consistently in my Game Boy Micro. I'll just pick it up once in a while before bed, play a few levels. I love the platforming, the feel of the game. I love the world structure. I thought it was so cool where you go from that ground world, and then there's like a sky fortress level, and then you're in cloud world. That's
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't happen that often anymore.
Yeah, Mario. I just finished New Super Mario Bros. U. It has some of that, but it's not as magical.
Yeah.
And I also love that it is the last 2D Mario without a big focus on collecting like star coins. I kind of like the goal just being to get to the end of level. Not that it's bad
Same.
to like to collect the coins, but sometimes I just want to play Mario.
Yeah, I agree on that one as well. It's also the last one that doesn't let you repeat stages,
Yeah,
which I
that's such a
think,
weird thing.
yeah, which it's you say I say that and it's not that wild, but like you think about it, like Mario Three's difficulty curve, I feel like is really really strong because of how it handles that, and it's the game is still like it will push back at you even if you've played it a million times before, which makes it special to me as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some challenging stages later on. I think there's one where you have to like jump on beetles and stuff.
Oh yeah, I
Or maybe
remember
that
that
was an
one.
e-reader level.
There's
No, I think
I don't
there
know
is one in
about
there.
there might be both. It might be
Yeah.
both. I know there's one where you vin vanilla with the parabeetles.
Mhm. All right, let's move on to our last question. So this is kind of a broad one, but in the Nintendo pantheon, where does Mario stand for you guys? Who wants to take this one first? No, it's kind of a big one.
I can go on this because I have a very easy answer. Um, yeah, he's the top. He's at the top. Mario is what got me into gaming and Nintendo in general. Um, Major Mario games come out, and I am incredibly excited every single time to play them. Um, they started making 2D Mario games again, and that also makes me extremely excited. I get excited about a lot of the spin-offs. Like it's like yeah, it's he's top. Like it doesn't get any bigger and more exciting than like a major Mario release for me.
Mm-hmm. And would you agree, Barry, or do you have a different perspective?
I mean, Mario is just the standard. Mario is. I would feel foolish saying anything, but Mario is the top. You, I, 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 I'm at a loss for words. I can't even.
No, it's fine. I think
Yeah,
standard is a really good word because Mario is the game that other games get compared to more than anything else. Every
yeah,
platformer you play gets compared to a Mario. Every kart racer gets compared to a kart game or a Mario Kart. Every Mario Party compared to a Mario Party.
Yeah, that's
It is
true.
really, for me, Mario is Nintendo and Nintendo is Mario. Like that is
yeah. That's
that's
the
their Mickey Mouse.
yeah. That's the best way to put it. He's not my favorite. Mario is not my favorite Nintendo world by any means. But the games are good, and the games are even when I don't care for them, they're immaculate.
Mhm.
It's it's the top. It's the standard.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Nintendo.
Mhm.
they're extremely polished. Like you can always pretty much count on that.
Mhm. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your money going astray on a Mario. Hey, but yeah, Mario is also my king of Nintendo. It's what got me in there. Like Clay, it's what keeps me there. Like as long as they keep making Mario's, I will keep buying Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I'll a specific example. If you give me a 2D Mario, I will buy the system that it comes on. I bought a Wii U at launch for 2D Mario, and I don't regret it because I love 2D Mario.
Mhm. All right, so to close this out, we like Super Mario quite a bit, and we're very glad that he is not actually dead.
Yeah, almost losing a loved one really makes you appreciate them more.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
What was the other things that happened during the death of Mario, real quick?
Fire
Um,
Emblem died too, but
Fire
nobody
Emblem
cared.
died,
Yeah, who cares?
and they
Yeah.
stopped selling physical, and they stopped selling all copies of 3D All Stars.
Yeah, it wasn't even
Yeah.
physical either. Physical's the only way you can get it now. It's delisted
Yeah,
digitally, but some stores still have physical copies. So get on that, everybody.
yeah. If you want 3D All Stars, now's your chance.
Yeah, it's a good
All right.
pack.
Do we have a closeout line yet, or should we
Oh
stick with the one
god.
from last time?
You know what? I'll let you. How about we let you close it out since you're the one who has the great ideas for closing lines.
All right. Nintendo Nation, thank you so much. Uh, Mamma Mia, that's a wrap. Have a good week. Jared out. All right, that's episode 1 done. There's a little end clap. All right,
I'm gonna stop recording.
Yep. We did it. That was like